Bomb on the bridge with a Tycon flow snap, vivid like the Nikon. Been cold with the vibe warm, keep it locked like the vice arm. They got her twisted like the coat arm, heart something froze like the snowstorm. Her tote bag match her throat charm. She from the land of the sand where they flex so subtle when her drink mint muddle. Left home and her man in the game that he played for the sand of the shade. She parades you the square in her shades. She like why you do that, niggas be deceptive. Young pretty restless, long as a check is addressed to a residence. She self-heal therapy, she retail on clearance, but she shopping for clarity. Reap what she sold for the dividend. Know what time is the medicine, copping the wristwatch Cartier with the bezel on her credit. Demanding hers where it's due. I swear she's so sadistic, defensive, pessimistic, reclusive. She too lit, independent. She too quick to dismiss courtship, concerned with malice. She pile up as the bout ends. She throws a talent. She clutch a half full chalice. Sip you from fountains. Check her rap. She chic, maneuver mountains. I fly away with you. Escape the negative. I'm just trying to let time out. Fly away with you. Escape the negative. I'm just trying to let. So girl, come on, let's fly. Girl, come on, let's fly. I let the thumbnail distract me from the bigger picture. Losing sanity to misplaced feelings. Real shit kept deep in her makeup bristles. Hotline blink, she sent 1,000 kisses. I just tripped, I sold 1 million tickets. I'm way too focused on this image lately. My mind is racing, million miles a minute. No time to slide, I guess I'm bad with distance. I never text you back lately, my thoughts they drifted around the shots to keep us all from losing who we are. We're products of a generation where we swiping left across the interfaces. Out my mind, I tend to be evasive. Yeah. All the notice how the money made us. Hey,
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right. So shout out to everybody who is in the building early. It's good to see each and every one of you. All right. I'm going to shout out everybody who is in the building early. If you guys can hear me, please give me a thumbs up. If you guys cannot hear me, please give me a thumbs down. All right. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. What's good with it, Brooklyn Queen? Let me see. Hold on real quick. Computer acting crazy. All right, there we go. Oh, still acting crazy. All right, it is what it is. Shout out to Patricia Slade. We got my man Crew Reality in the building. We got Jerry Bedford. Shout out to you, bro. Make sure you guys show Brooklyn Queen some love. Please throw some like enforcers in the chat. Shout out to her for enforcing those likes early. Definitely appreciate it. Shout out to the Hula Gang. Good to see you, Hula Gang. Shout out to Sybil. Good to see you. Shout out to Hurricane IQ with the 7 months of membership support. Make sure y'all show Hurricane IQ some love. Definitely appreciate it. Shout out to Tabith. Shout out to my man John Guillory. Definitely appreciate it. All right. Shout out to my man Tony Taylor. Make sure y'all show my man John some love. Throw some flames, radiation emoji in the chat for my man John Guillory with the 10 months of membership support. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Tony Taylor. Good to see you, bro. Make sure y'all throw some big flames, some napalm bombs in the chat for Miss Nisi with the Scunnit dollar super chat. Definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. Now, y'all big super chat. Y'all making me have to work today, so I'm gonna have to not be lazy and actually do some work. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Miss Nisi. Definitely, as always, very appreciated for your presence. Ecstatic and truly humbled by your support. Thank you very much. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brooklyn Queen with the 7 months of support. Make sure y'all show her some love, throw some flames, radiation emoji in the chat. Shout out to Tiff. What's good with it, Tiff? Good to see you. Shout out to my man Mo Fax. What's good with it, bro? Yeah, and I'm streaming to Twitter as well. If you guys are not following me on Twitter, it's at Base Reality 2. Make sure you guys go over there. If you watch on Twitter, please make sure that you guys share. And believe it or not, people actually do watch on Twitter, so you won't be alone over there. Shout out to my man Jerry Bedford. Jerry Bedford and Miss Nisi are trying to make sure that I do some work today, and I definitely will. So shout out to Jerry with the $50 super chat. My man says, keep up the good work. I appreciate you, bro, and I will always be working at maximum capacity for you guys. I definitely appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Extent. What's good with it? Shout out to Kale Bonner. What's good with you, Kale? Good to see you, bro. Shout out to my man Tarek. What's good with you, bro? Shout out to Sunkissed by the Most High. Good to see you as always. Shout out to my man Hurricane IQ. Shout out to you, bro. 26 years young. You a baby. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hurricane IQ turning 26 today, man. Make sure y'all show Hurricane some love. Hurricane said, would you and the family mind giving me a birthday shout out? Absolutely, bro. Happy birthday. Many more. Shout out to you. You enjoy yourself today. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you one thing, bro. There's only 2 things in the world that are finite assets: time and Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you make the most of your time and make sure that you never sell your Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cameron. What's good with it, bro? We got Honda 666 in the building. And I think that's it. I think that's everybody. All right. So it's good to see y'all. I'm glad everybody is here. All right. So we're going to talk about your boy, Mayor Eric Adams. And these accusations, they had came out a while ago, but now we got a little bit more information about him. Shout out to Roku Moro. Good to see you. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't necessarily believe this off rip. I got to see some more proof, because if you guys recall, when the Eric Adams allegations of sexual misconduct came out, literally a bunch of allegations on a bunch of people for sexual misconduct came out, and it was because there was some type of law about reporting these type of things in New York City that was expiring. Do you guys remember that? Shout out to Caldona. What's good with it, Caldona? If you guys remember, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't remember, give me a thumbs down. All right. So we got this article here We got 3 that we're going to take a look at. From New York Post, Eric Adams' accuser shares graphic details of alleged sexual assault in new suit, calls the mayor a predator. Now, let me ask you guys this question. There's a lot of things that people could say about Mayor Eric Adams. You know what I'm saying? He's not the best mayor. He's not the best representative of our interests or anything like that. But calling the guy a predator, I don't really know if I've seen anything that would lead me to believe that Eric Adams is a predator. What do you guys think? The only thing that I think he preys on is unsuspecting voters. You know what I'm saying? I think Eric Adams preys on unsuspecting black voters, but I don't think that he's this kind of predator. You know what I'm saying? And that's a great question. Shout out to Miss Nisi. Miss Nisi says, why now? There are some people speculating that because he was one of the OG Democrats that was slightly going against the immigration narrative, he was putting a couple bumps in the road with some of his sentiments and some of the things that he's saying. People are under the impression that that is why he could possibly be under attack right now. If you guys agree with that and think that that could be plausible, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down and let me know what your theory is. All right. So what it says here is Mayor Eric Adams, sexual assault accuser, claimed in a new court paper on Monday that he, quote unquote, exposed himself to her and asked her for sex in exchange for helping her in her career when he was a transit cop more than 3 decades ago. I mean, so what they're basically saying is that Mayor Eric Adams whipped it out and said, hey, listen here, you know what I'm saying? If you take a bite out of this, you know what I'm saying, I'll put you up on the career ladder. I just don't see that happening. I'm sorry. I don't believe that. Again, as unpopular as Eric Adams is, and you know what I'm saying, as as shady as Eric Adams is, as far as on the political side, I just truly don't think that the guy is a rotten human being. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I think that he's a bad politician. I think that he's a Democrat shill, but that's very different from being a sexual degenerate. I don't think so. I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? Unless they come with some hardcore proof or some hardcore evidence, I just don't believe this. Because what's to stop somebody from saying that about any one of us? And then they've already put the allegation on there, and then the allegation is bad enough. And in most cases, proof is of these things is never shown. You know what I'm saying? So, and then usually with these type of situations, when somebody is an actual predator, there's a pattern of predatory behavior. So if Eric Adams was indeed a predator, he wouldn't have just done this to this one individual. There would be mad people. There would be mad people, mad women coming out saying, yeah, he did the same thing to me. He did the same thing to me. Female cops. Eric Adams works with a lot of ladies, and there's not a lot of ladies saying this kind of stuff about him. As of right now, at least. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see a pattern that is making this believable for me. Well, let me know what you guys think, all right? Lorna Beach Mathura claimed she asked Adams for help as he was the leader of the Transit Bureau, New York Police Department Guardians Association, which fights for rights of black employees, since she'd been passed over for promotion as a black woman in the New York Police Department in 1993, according to her bombshell lawsuit. So this woman is a black woman who's filing these complaints, and you know, it's not like it matters or anything, but just so we have some context here. Defendant Adams preyed on her perceived vulnerability, demanding a quid pro quo sexual favor and sexually assaulting the plaintiff, revealing himself not to be the quote-unquote guardian he purported to be, but a predator, charges the Manhattan Supreme Court suit. Okay. Beach Mathura, who now resides in Florida, but at the time lived on Coney Island, claims that Adams drove her to a vacant lot and requested oral sex from her. And when she refused, put her hand on his quote unquote erect penis, the filing alleges. Now, don't they have like video inside of the cars. Shout out to Carlton. What's good with it? Don't they have videos or some type of monitoring, or you know what I'm saying, recordings of things that go on inside of the car? And he drove her out to a vacant lot. So here's the thing, right? If he drove her out to a vacant lot, he did all of this. She said no. If he was a predator, then he probably would have just went the entire way and actually forced her to do more than just putting her hand down there. She was in a remote location. He was already trying to attempt to intimidate her. She could always go back and say something. So if you're going to do that, the idea would be it would probably make none of this makes sense and none of it is justifiable. But in the mind of one of these type of people, they would probably go all the way, right? But he didn't go all the way. Shout out to my man KO Kid Fit. What's good with it, bro? What do you guys think? When she took her hand away, Adams allegedly, quote unquote, masturbated himself and ejaculated on her. The suit charges. So he was inside of the car. He put he put her hand down there. She didn't want nothing to do with it. And then he just beat it. He just angled himself in the car at an awkward angle and just beat his meat and skied it all over. I'm sorry, that doesn't make any sense. I don't believe that. Nobody, there's not like they can't go back and look at the invoices or camera at the at the facility. Nobody cleaned up the police car and said there's some strange stains in here. Like, really? Her police uniform, the uniform didn't have no, I mean, like, she walked back into the police department glazed and nobody said anything. I guess you had a little bit more than some donuts on when you was on the beat. Eric. You know what I'm saying? Like, really? Okay. Okay. I don't know how tall Eric Adams is, but that just doesn't seem practical. It just doesn't seem practical, and it doesn't seem believable. Shout out to the Emperor. What's good with it, bro? Right. She didn't grab his gun. You know what I'm saying? She didn't do nothing. Like, she just sat there. She just she just sat there and got frosted. Like, come on, man. So now here it says the explosive filing came after Beach Mathura submitted a notice of claim in November indicating she intended to sue Adams, but did not provide details of her allegations at the time. Adams denied the claim and said he didn't even know Beach Mathura. It did not happen. That's not who I am. That's not who I am in my professional life. It's something that never took place, he said at the time. All right, so this your boy Eric Adams back in the day, back when he had hair and a mustache. The court papers filed Monday say Beach Mathura started working in the Transit Bureau for New York Police Department in the 1980s as a police administrative aide, eventually getting assigned to the 34th District on Coney Island, where she worked from 1981 to 1986. While she was, quote unquote, determined to advance, she said she was repeatedly passed over for promotions as a Black woman who spoke out when she felt wronged, the court papers state. Okay. The promotions she did receive usually came with a quote unquote punishment, like when she was moved up the ladder in 1984, but transferred to District 2, forcing her to commute an hour, according to the filing. Now, here's my question. That's a punishment? Shout out to DSA. What's good with it, bro? That's a punishment? I don't know how I feel about this. And I don't want to dismiss, you know what I'm saying, traumatizing complaints. Maybe when the court filings come, she might have a little bit more convincing evidence. But at this point, right now, where I'm at, I'm not really sold on this whole thing. I'm not really sold on this whole thing. And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate all you guys being here. We got 50 people watching and we got 39 likes. If everybody could take a moment, smash that like button, try to get us to about 50 likes. Share the stream to your social media. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, take a moment, subscribe to the channel, wherever you're watching at. The promotions she did receive, they usually came with a punishment. And again, this is a subjective classification of a punishment based on what she's saying is a punishment. So now here it says, when Beach Mathera ran into Adams, who was a senior member of the Guardians group, which actively recruited her, she told him about the issues she had rising up the ranks, the suit details. Adams offered to drive her to Coney Island home after her shift that evening, picking her up in a official police-issued car and noting he was on duty, though out of uniform, the lawsuit alleges. But Adams allegedly began driving the wrong direction towards the Hudson River and eventually stopped in a quote-unquote remote vacant lot, causing Beach Mathera to grow nervous and scared, according to the suit. Adams said he wanted to, quote unquote, concentrate on what Beach Mathera had to say and didn't want to be, quote unquote, distracted by driving, the filing alleges. Beach Mathera explained her problems at work, prompting Adams to say he could help her, but he also needed some help and began rubbing his midsection, quote unquote, through his clothes with his hands, the suit claims. Oh man, hey, listen here. I can help you out. I just need you to help me out. You understand, shorty? Really? Really? I don't know how I'm feeling about this. Adams told her, look at this. Look at this. This is in quotes, not my words. Adams told her, quote unquote, he needed a blowjob and repeatedly tried to convince Beach Mathera to perform oral sex on him before unzipping his pants and, quote unquote, whipping it out. I'm not going to say all that. The lawsuit alleges. Again, shout out to 42 Tribes. What's good with it, bro? 42 Tribes said Adams is a fiend, so who knows? I didn't know he was a fiend. That changes everything. I didn't know he was a fiend. You know what I'm saying? You know, fiends be doing some weird stuff. So now here says a sickened and outraged Beach Mathera refused, but he then grabbed her hand and demanded she, quote unquote, give him a hand job, the suit alleges. She replied no, but that didn't stop Adams from allegedly, you know, doing his thing and then finishing on her thigh and stocking, the lawsuit claims. Now, here's my question. She didn't try to defend herself? She didn't try to get out of it. Now, you know the police cars, they lock kind of weird, so she might have been stuck in there. You know what I'm saying? But did she not try to fight or anything like that? She tried to, I mean, I don't know. shout out to DeAndre. Yeah, DeAndre said, what's wrong with Sleazy E, quote unquote, allegedly. Right. Right. Shout out to KO Kid Fit. KO Kid Fit says, sounds like she was with it. Shout out to Sunkiss. Sunkiss says, don't believe her. Yeah, I don't know, man. You know, like sometimes when I hear these stories, right, and I hear that these guys do these kind of things, I only think like as a woman, like you have an opportunity to really put this guy in a bad situation. You literally have the most sensitive part of his body in your hand. And if he's doing something mean to you, you know, there's a lot of different options that you have that you could use while you're holding on to the most sensitive part of his body to kind of deter him from that behavior. And for some reason, in many of these cases, that kind of doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Calvin Jr. says, Calvin Jr. said, you can whip it. Oh, man. The Whip It song. Oh, man. That's crazy, man. After Adams gruffly informed Beach Matera that he quote unquote had to get back to work and dropped her off at a subway station that didn't go to Coney Island to filing claims. And so nobody saw this woman, you know what I'm saying, all glazed over and frantic and was like, yo, what just happened? Nobody asked her, like, yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? You got frosting all over you. And you seem like you're kind of in distress. What's going on? Can I offer you some help in a bleach wipe? Nobody said that at the subway. It was clear that he was angry at her for refusing his sexual demands, the suit alleges. At the time, Beach Matera kept quiet about the incident, fearing further retaliation. The plaintiff knew that there was no way for her, a divorced mother of young children, to safely report defendant Adams through official channels if she wanted to keep her job, the suit states. She encountered further career issues when she finally received a promotion in March of 1994, but was transferred to the Department of Probation, which caused her to lose her seniority and be placed in a non-supervisory position, the court paper said. But she could have, if she didn't want to lose her seniority or any of that stuff, she could have refused a promotion and just stay where she was at, right? And then that's facts, Hula Gang. So check this out. All of these promotions that she had, they all caused her to move to different locations. So she didn't have any, you know what I mean? Like there was none of those people that had any loyalty to Eric Adams at all of the different places that she got transferred to. So when she moved to all of those different places, she could have filed a report then. I think that would have reduced some of the risk and exposure that she might have had that she claimed that she was fearful of, right? The city carried out mass layoffs a few months later, and Beach Matera was forced to accept a severance package and leave, the suit says. Beach Matera brought claims of gender discrimination, sexual harassment, retaliation, sexual assault, and battery against Adams, the Transit Bureau, and New York Police Department. I'm proud to file this complaint on behalf of my client, a woman whose strength astonishes me, Beach Matera's lawyer, Megan Goddard, said in a statement. She knew that filing this lawsuit would cause her significant personal challenges, but she did so nevertheless because she believes sexual abusers must be held to account, no matter who they are. Her fearlessness and quest for justice are as inspiring as they are important, the statement continued. New York City Corporation Counsel Hans Sylvia Hines Radix called the allegations outrageous and says the mayor fully denies the claims. While we review the complaint, the mayor fully denies these outrageous allegations and the events described here. We expect full vindication in court, Hines Radix said in a statement on Monday. Additionally, in 1993, Eric Adams was one of the most prominent public opponents of racism within the New York Police Department, which is why the suit's allegations that he had any sway over promotions of a civilian employee is ludicrous. Now, again, as far as that goes, that's just politics, right? So that's neither here nor there. Me personally, I wouldn't consider Eric Adams a quote unquote race or anti-racist advocate. I would call him somebody that utilizes race and race talk for his political objectives. However, I don't know how much of a position Eric Adams was in at this time to even be able to provide any assistance to this woman in moving up the career ladder. Would you guys agree? Court records show that Adams' accuser has previously filed a lawsuit against the school board of Miami, which was dismissed in 2010, and attempted to sue American Airlines the same year, but lost the case. She filed a lawsuit against the Florida casino in 2022 and was also dismissed by the judge. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many of you all have filed this many lawsuits in your life? If you filed that many lawsuits in your life, give me a thumbs up. If you guys haven't, then give me a thumbs down. Now, not to say that this is any indication of anything, but it seems like she's in court an abnormal amount of times. She seems to be in court an abnormal amount of times. She filed a lawsuit against the school board of Miami, which I'm not sure what that case was about. I'd be interested to find out. That was dismissed in 2010. She attempted to sue American Airlines, who knows for what. Like, I would like to know why she sued American Airlines, but lost the case. And she filed a lawsuit against the Florida casino, and that was dismissed by a judge. So now her appearances in court do not seem like they go very well. For whatever reason, it seems like when she goes to court, she tends to end up having the same outcome. Now, why might that be? Shout out to Miss Nisi. Miss Nisi says, like I said earlier, money grab. That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. Out of all of those times that she's been in court, she didn't win any of them. Somebody make it make sense. Beach Mathura's initial summons from November was filed under New York's Adult Survivors Act, just as the window to submit old claims was set to close. Now, do you all think that had anything to do with it? And that's what I brought up at the beginning of this live stream. A lot of lawsuits came in right around that time. Do you guys recall? If you guys recall, a lot of the individuals that were accused of sexual misconduct right as the window for this law closed, name the people in the comment section. All right. So now here it says the act signed into law by Governor Kathy Hochul in May last year removed the usual statute of limitations for suing over alleged sexual assaults for a 1-year period. A slew of powerful men were sued under the ASA, including former President Donald Trump and Bill Cosby. The suit against Adams adds to the legal troubles for the mayor, whose 2021 mayoral campaign is being probed by federal prosecutors in Manhattan over allegations of a potential contribution kickback scheme involving the Turkish government. All right. So it seems like what's going to end up happening with Mayor Eric Adams is that he's going to leave the mayorship in quote unquote disgrace. And I think that's the goal that they have for Mayor Eric Adams. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. And again, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate you guys being here. We got 60 people watching, and we have, let me see how many likes we got. And we got 54 likes. If everybody can bang on that like button and get us to 100, that would be great. So, of course, Mayor Eric Adams is not about to sit there and let this go down uncontested. All right. So Mayor Eric Adams has denied the sexual assault. And as of right now, without any evidence, I kind of tend to believe that this is either an exaggeration or just flat out not true. Now, you know, Eric Adams might have actually tried to holler at her. He might have tried to speak a little bit of sweet nothings in her ear. But as far as all of the extra stuff, I don't necessarily know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe it. I could see Eric Adams like, hey, shorty, after the shift, how about you let me take you to the Barclays? We could eat some shrimp and linguine and watch a Jay-Z and Beyonce concert. You know what I'm saying? I can see a little bit of that. But all the extra stuff, nah, I don't see it. I need a little bit more of a convincing argument. And another thing that I'd like to see is I'd like to see the events that she filed those other lawsuits for, and I'd like to see why they were dismissed. Shout out to my man Vincent Harper. What's good with it, bro? So now here it says Mayor Eric Adams said he did not recall meeting the woman who accused him of assault. This did not happen. There you go, right there. He got the "this did not happen" face on right there. You know what I'm saying? He's not looking neat. You remember back in the day? Shout out to my man AB Promotions. What's good with it, bro? You remember back in the day, all the pictures of Eric Adams, he had the big wide smile. He is showing all the teeth. You know what I'm saying? My man was happy and just loving life. And I'm the mayor, you know what I'm saying? Like I got the swag, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn, you know. Now You know what I'm saying? He sounded more like Ghostface. He sounded like Ghostface in the RZA. after laughter comes tears. That's what it seems like, man. After laughter comes tears. You know what I'm saying? He in his 36th chamber of mayoral duties and it's not looking good. Mayor Eric Adams strenuously denied sexually assaulting a colleague in 1993 after, quote unquote, asking her for a sexual favor, saying on Tuesday the accusation was completely false. This did not happen, Mr. Adams said in his first remarks since the detailed allegations emerged in a legal claim filed on Monday. I don't recall ever meeting this person during my time in the police department. The lawsuit was filed in New York Supreme Court as part of the state's Adult Survivors Act, which provided a window for people to bring lawsuits over sexual assaults that might have occurred years ago. All right. And then remember, the window for this particular law just closed. Okay. The window for this law just closed. So as we saw, and as to be expected, there was a lot of lawsuits that came in that tried to beat the time frame of this. Okay. A woman claimed that Mr. Adams requested, quote unquote, oral sex from her in exchange for career help when they worked together at New York City's Transit Police Department. When she refused, he forced her to touch him and then glazed her, the complaint said. And again, usually when people get down like this, there's a pattern of it. And also, there's usually like a connecting record. There would be some text message exchange, some type of recording. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. Hey, 36 Chambers started out dope. Bring the Ruckus. That's one of my favorite songs. Hey, yo, Ghostface. What? Man, Ghostface killed that. You know what I'm saying? Yo, speaking of Ghostface, I don't know if y'all saw, but Ghostface and AZ dropped a new track. It's on YouTube. I forget what channel it's on, but it's dope. Of course, you know what I'm saying? Because it got Ghostface and AZ on it. AZ, one of the most underrated rappers in hip-hop history that's never in a GOAT conversation, but should be, like my man Twista, but that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, at his weekly news conference, Mr. Adams did not take long to address the accusations, bringing them up before being asked about them. He repeated his motto, stay focused, no distractions, and grind, and said he has always carried himself with a level of dignity that New Yorkers expect. Now, as far as him saying this and saying all of that, again, doing something like, I know that Eric Adams is not everybody's favorite politician. I get it, right? I get it. But like I've always said, in my opinion, Eric Adams got like a level of swag. And like with that level of swag that Eric Adams has, like it's just not compatible with that level of swag. Like again, I don't have all the evidence. You know what I'm saying? So I can't sit here and say definitively, no, he didn't do it. But just watching how people move, this to me just is not consistent with how Eric Adams moves. It's not, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think? I don't buy this. And then like this, I'm sure when it comes to a lot of these type of situations, right? Many times, women, they will not really say anything. You know what I'm saying? They will kind of, not say too much. But there is always like one person that they have as a close confidant, whether it's a male friend, whether it's a female friend, and one person, they might actually vent and open up to. And I'm shocked that there's not anybody really even coming forward to say, yeah, she told me about this situation at one time. Yo, one of my favorite AZ songs, bro, is Uncut Raw from what was the name of that? Oh, Do or Die. Yeah, that was the name of the album, Do or Die. Uncut Raw and the Give Me Yours remix. The Give Me Yours remix, bro, I used to have that on repeat heavy. The Give Me Yours remix, bruh, that's one of the best songs ever made in rap. I'm about to listen to that. Matter of fact, as soon as I get done with this. So now here it says, I know how I live my life, the mayor said, adding, I have been an extremely respectable public person. And I actually agree with that. Shout out to Michael R. It's Sugar Hill. Yeah. Living that love life, sipping on bubbly. Man, what? What? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Michael R, man. Shout out to Cameron. What's good with it, bro? The lawsuit is the latest legal complication confronting Mr. Adams as he prepares to run for re-election next year. Now, I don't. Let me ask y'all this. Do y'all know who the competitors against Eric Adams are as far as running for mayor next year? Who's running against Mayor Eric Adams next year? Do you guys know? I don't think that re-election is going to happen. And honestly, here go my question: if I was Eric Adams, why would you even want to run again? You want to run again and be not able to get resources that you need to get your job done dealing with the Biden administration. You want to have to be flip-flopping 1 minute sitting up there talking about you support immigration, and then the next minute sitting there talking about you don't because you can't handle it because you're not getting the resources. Why would you want to deal with that? We're going to take a poll real quick. If y'all think that Mayor Eric Adams will win a re-election bid, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, then give me a thumbs down. Let me know what y'all thinking. In November, FBI agents searched the home of his chief fundraiser and seized Mr. Adams' electronic devices as part of an investigation into whether his campaign conspired with the Turkish government to accept illegal foreign donors. Mr. Adams, a Democrat, said that he was sorry that his partner, Tracy Collins, and his son, Jordan Coleman, were going through this, and said that Miss Collins had encouraged him to be disciplined and not allow your emotions to get away. The city corporation counsel, Sylvia O. Hines Radix, is representing the mayor in the lawsuit. During the news conference, she interjected at least twice to say that she and the mayor were not responding to the details in the lawsuit and that she would prefer Mr. Adams not give his opinion on the case. Now, here's my thing, right? When it comes to all of this campaign stuff, shout out to Lewis Knowles. What's good with it, bro? When it comes to all this campaign stuff, most of the campaign people that Eric Adams works with, most of all of those people that Eric Adams works with are women. Did you guys notice that? He's got I think the lady who the FBI raided their house is a black woman. Then he's got another lady. It's a white woman. Then there was that Asian politician that he's working with. None of those other women that he's working with have said anything about him being inappropriate sexually with them. And they're in positions where they could just throw him under the bus to try to get some heat off of them. And none of them have taken that route, which is something else that I kind of, would tend to pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? So now here says Ms. Hines Radix said the mayor was entitled to be represented by her office because the city has been obligated to represent former transit police employees since the department merged with the New York Police Department in 1995. The mayor is therefore not getting any special treatment, she said. Nevertheless, the arrangement struck Richard Briffault, a Columbia Law School professor, as quote unquote odd. It seems to me that it's inappropriate in this case because it has nothing to do with anything involving his office, said Mr. Briffault, a former chair of the New York City Conflicts of Interest Board said. He added, the events that were alleged were decades ago, as I understand it, and there's no allegation of misuse of office in any of this. It's entirely about a private matter, and that's the sort of thing that should be handled by private counsel. The lawsuit said that the plaintiff, then an administrative aide at the Transit Police Department, asked Mr. Adams for help after she'd been passed over for a promotion. Mr. Adams drove her to a vacant lot and requested a quote-unquote quid pro quo sexual favor before he forcefully pushed her hands onto his quote-unquote midsection, according to the 26-page complaint. So there's a 26-page complaint involving all of this. Shout out to Pamela X. What's good with? Yeah, I could definitely see him simping. I could definitely see him simping. And that's what I'm saying. I could see Eric Adams simping and I could see Eric Adams tricking all day long. But as far as like just this aggressive, like assault type stuff, I'm just not convinced yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not convinced yet. The plaintiff felt particularly fearful because she believed that Mr. Adams, as a police officer, had loaded a gun in the car, the complaint said. Now, she was in the car with him the entire time. She didn't know whether this occurred or not. She didn't know whether he loaded the gun or not. Come on, somebody make it make sense. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you guys have not smashed that like button yet, please take a moment, smash the like button. Also, if you guys have not hit the bell, please take a moment, hit the bell, and share the stream to your social media. Shout out to my man with the band over on Twitch. If you guys aren't subscribed over on Twitch and you have Twitch accounts, make sure you guys take a moment, go and subscribe to the channel on Twitch. And I got to agree with Hurricane. Hurricane said a black man's sexual activities, true or false, will always be used against him in this country. Yeah, I agree. If you guys agree with Hurricane, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Alonda. Alonda said, Rob, honestly, most of these black male liberals on the left have simpish tendencies. Yeah, I noticed that too. Do you guys notice that? If you guys agree with Alonda, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Yeah. Big facts. The plaintiff felt particularly fearful because she believed that Mr. Adams, as a police officer, had a loaded gun in the car, the complaint said. The effects of that sexual assault, betrayal, and astonishing abuse of power continue to haunt the plaintiff to this day, the complaint said. The lawsuit seeks $5 million and also names the police department and the Guardians Association, a fraternal organization of black police officers, as defendants. Mr. Adams was a leader in the Guardians at the time of the alleged assault. The woman who now lives in Florida, look at this, all right? The woman who now lives in Florida has a history of filing lawsuits and has written a 52-page self-published book about how to represent yourself in court. Now, here's my thing. How credible is this book if none of the cases that she has gone with have ever materialized into anything? You know what I'm saying? Lewis, you gotta be dead. Seriously though, think about that. She even wrote a self-published book about how to represent yourself in court. So we're gonna go through this paragraph again. The woman who now lives in Florida has a history of filing lawsuits and has written a 52-page self-published book about how to represent yourself in court. Yeah. I mean, I can't even sit here in front. If you guys agree with Miss Niecy, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, give me a thumbs down. Miss Niecy says grifter vibes from her. Yeah. Big facts. Big facts. On Tuesday, Mr. Adams was careful not to question the woman's credibility, but the mayor's office on Monday night sent statements to reporters from 4 women who criticized the lawsuits and the motivation behind it. Assemblywoman Jennifer Rajkumar, who frequently speaks in support of the mayor, said her background as a lawyer had shaped her opinion that the lawsuit had no merit. As a lawyer who has dedicated a significant portion of her career to class action cases on behalf of women experiencing discrimination in the workplace, Ms. Rajkumar said, I know that every year the American justice system experiences a significant number of frivolous lawsuits such as this one. Now, here's my question, right? I would actually agree with that, but when is something going to get done about that? And shout out to Miss Nisi for being a bot enforcer. Appreciate it, Miss Nisi. When is something going to get done about America allowing all of these frivolous lawsuits to occur? Because America does absolutely allow all of these frivolous lawsuits to occur, and nothing ever gets done with them. And in many cases, somebody's reputation is messed up every year, because what people don't understand is that when it comes to cases and when it comes to things like this, even if you're not guilty, simply having this kind of accusation associated with your name destroys your credibility. It puts a stain on you that you can never get away from. Which is why, if you ask me, people need to be very careful before they start throwing around certain kind of labels onto people. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, after the news conference on Tuesday, the mayor's office sent 2 more statements, including one from Hazel Dukes, president of the NAACP New York State Conference, who said that the outrageous claims made against him cannot possibly be true, adding that he has the full support of me and many others. Now, here's the thing, right? To say that those claims can't be possibly true, that's completely dismissive. And I think that that's going a little bit too far, because anything is possible and we don't have definitive evidence either way. What I would have said is, as of right now, based on this woman's past history and based on our observable interpretation of Eric Adams' behavior, it just doesn't seem likely. She might come with a video. She might come with some text messages. She might come with some eyewitness testimony. We just don't know about any of that yet. But as of right now, based on all the information that's available right now, me personally, this does not seem highly likely to me at all. Doesn't seem highly likely to me at all. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to my man Hurricane IQ for being a member for 7 months. Make sure you guys show Hurricane IQ some love. Shout out to John Guillory with the 10 months of membership support. Definitely appreciate it. Make sure you guys throw big flames, throw some napalm bombs in the chat for Miss Nisi with the Scunnit dollar super chat. Definitely appreciate it. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen 125 with the 7 months of membership support. Definitely appreciate you, Brooklyn Queen. Shout out to my man Jerry Bedford with the $50 super chat. Please make sure you guys show Jerry some love. Definitely appreciate it. And shout out to Hurricane IQ. Make sure y'all throw some birthday emojis in the chat. Champagne popping for my man who is 26 years young. He's still a baby. Put them baby emojis in the chat. Hurricane IQ still a baby. You know what I'm saying? We'll chop it up again when you wake up and your knees are hurting or your back is hurting for no reason. You know what I'm saying? That when you wake up and you got them pains for no reason, that's when you know you're growing up. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to you, bro. Enjoy your birthday. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,